Let me change the color. 1 minute. Wait. Let me connect it. Oh, this is not for you. What was the last class date, Daniel?
We did, sir, on Central Force.
No. What is the last class date? Is this the last class?
Date, okay. Date is 30th October.
80, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'm not missing any page. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let me go and cross check once again. Nothing wrong in cross checking. So in the team, yeah, 51. This is class 52. Fine. Class 52. 0 to November.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell you.
So page 57, actually, it's a missing page.
Oh,
That
page
day,
57. Oh, good,
yes,
good,
sir.
good. You have telling. So page 58. Correct. Yes, something. Generally, I save each of the page, but many times it happens. Ah, thanks a lot. So, there's page 60. Okay, so let me go and erase this portion. Yeah, 0 to November 20, page 1, class 52. Okay. So as we mentioned in the previous class, we will talk about conic section. This is the subtopic, and this subtopic is under central force. So most of you probably know, and most of you have seen it in the not plus 2 level. Plus 2 level it was there, I guess. But some of the portions we have to remember, and that's how we will remember in this way. So let me draw it. So in general, when I talk about a conic section, there are some nomenclatures what I have to mention. So that I will mention it here. And of course, okay, let me first draw the x-axis and y-axis properly. And the juncture is the ellipse where the x-axis and the y-axis cross. The juncture is the focus, and let's say I have one more line. Let's say I have one more line. Let me put it in another color. And the orbit of the particle, let's put it in this. So this is the center, in general, the orbit, if it is like that, I mean, this is the path or the trajectory. Then from this center, I call this center O. Let me say this thing as a O. I do not need the scale now. So I can take the scale out and at any particular position, at any point, I call that P, and the line joining from the focus to the particle, it is R, and particles to some imaginary line perpendicular to this y-axis, that I call as M. Now the definition for this, when I say the conic section, this ratio PO by PM, this should be constant. What is this constant called? Remind me. What is this constant called? All this I told you in the previous class. I will discuss this thing today. I hope some of you has revised this thing. Tell me, what is this thing called?
Eccentricity.
Eccentricity, and I have a notation for that. Many people write it E, many people write it epsilon. I call it epsilon. You can call it small e also, does not matter, until unless it clashes with some another notation. So the moral of the story is the particle is going along in this line, I mean in this trajectory, and this will be the focus. It can be one focus or more than one focus. Now whatever be the focus, with that, if you join the line, and if I have a line perpendicular to this axis, y axis, if I take that ratio is always constant. This is constant. This is constant. I hope everybody know this thing. Am I correct? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And nobody remind me that I have. No, it is I have done. Fine. Okay, I thought I have not recorded. Now, if I go from P to some another point, let's say, if I go to some another point P prime, then can you tell me how this epsilon thing will change? And I have this position called as M prime, and of course if I can, this focus is not going to change, I can join it. So in this case, what will be the epsilon? Can you tell me? Just now I have given you the definition that this ratio of this particle from this origin and this imaginary line, whatever the line, I have a name for this line, but yeah, that ratio will be constant. So in this case, what will be this ratio?
P prime over P M prime. P prime M prime.
P prime O by P prime M prime, that is exactly same epsilon. This epsilon is not changing, that is the same epsilon. This line has a name. What is the name of this line? Tell me. This line has a name. It starts with capital D. Let me give you a hint.
Dielectrics.
Directrix. This is directrix. A conic section is, as far as I remember, at my time it was in the +2 level syllabus. Now, has it changed to some extent, or is it still there?
Still there, sir.
Still there, yeah, fine. So this is directrix, and what other name is there? This O has a name. What is the name of the O? What is O? Starts with F. It is the focus, nothing else. This angle is nothing but in general the angle is theta, and I might call this is D, because the small d denotes it is the distance from the directrix. So these are easy things, not difficult as difficult things. And this distance from this directly perpendicular to the y, this I will also keep it as a constant. Okay, keep it as a constant. Then I will call that thing as a capital D. This is a capital D. If I keep all these things, the general equation in the polar coordinate, I can write it. You can check your +2 level book. I'm not going to derive that, otherwise it will be a class on that. Just have a look at it, it's not that difficult. I can write it as P, which notation already, by the way, small p I have not given, I will give it soon probably. 1 plus epsilon, then cosine of theta. So now can you guess which is small p by your knowledge of phonics section? What can be the small p here? What can be the small p? Which length can be small p? By that time, let me give some other names. You can tell. In general, let me call it line AB. This point, let me call it E. Yeah, that much is enough. Or maybe I can call this as X, that is Y, to make it more clear. What is the guess? What could be the small p? This curve is represented by this formula. R is equal to small p by 1 plus epsilon cos theta. So what could be small p? Any idea, any guess? In this picture it is there. I have not written exactly, but you have to tell it. Very clearly it is given in this picture. What is small p? Anybody? Take a chance. What could be the small p?
So,
Capital D.
No, not capital P. That is why I
so
have said.
half of the major axis.
Here it is not clear because I have not
Yes.
said it. It is ellipse. I have not said it is a general trajectory. I have said ellipse is a special case, of course. Ellipse will be a special case. Just see if this is the focus and if this is the trajectory, whatever be the way of the trajectory, it can see, it can be, try to understand, it can be a part, this trajectory can be the known things, 3 or 4 known things. What are the 3 or 4 known things? Because I have zoomed it and I am telling you all these names. But in general, it can be a part of 3 or 4 categories. What are the categories? It is not that it will be the same major axis. The reason is that you can tell by yourself what are the 3-4 categories of the conic section. This trajectory can be a part of parabola, it can be a part of hyperbola, it can be a part of ellipse, it can be a part of circle, a very special case of the ellipse itself. Now, why should I bother to call immediately that is the semi major axis or semi minor axis? See, this origin and the y-axis, this is intersecting at some point, isn't it? Yes, sir. And similarly, the origin and the x-axis also intersecting at some point, isn't it? That 2 points are very important. So one, I call them along the x-axis, I call them V. Along the y-axis, I call them Q. This distance OQ is nothing but small p. Is it clear? Is it clear for everybody what is this, which distance I am talking about? I am not proving this fact. This fact you have to go and look back in your +2 level book. That is very clearly that will be given there. Whatever book you have read. Otherwise, I will tell you to read Thomas Finney. Thomas Finney is a very standard book. Our BTech students used to read it, analytical geometry and calculus, I think. So I think you can get it there. Otherwise, you can, whatever book you have read in your plus 2 level, it must be there. Or if you are in NCERT, you have done in CBSE, then you can look into that good books also. Is it clear, the notation now? Good. Now, when if depending on epsilon, there are cases. These cases we should know. Epsilon is equal to 1, that is parabola. Epsilon is equal to less than 1. Epsilon less than 1, what is that? Epsilon, if it is less than 1, what will be the trajectory called in the conic section?
Ellipse.
Ellipse. And greater than 1?
Hyperparabola.
Hyperbola.
Hyperbola.
These are the main 3 categories of the. And depending on that, you can write it down. So maybe I'm just putting the gist for you. If it is the ellipse, you can write it as. Yes,
Sir,
tell me. Yeah, tell me.
isn't epsilon is between 0 and 1?
Yeah, in between 0 and n, correct. That refinement I have not come yet. So in general, I am writing it less than 1. Of course, that is a correct statement. So R is equal to, in this particular case, ellipse, it will come as A1 minus epsilon square 1 plus epsilon cosine theta. So that means now you can see, for the case of the ellipse, this small p has given this particular formula, small a into 1 minus epsilon square. Now these things what initially you are telling, whether it is semi-major axis or not, all these things will be coming into play. Okay, now for epsilon greater than 1, again I can write it in another formula, that is a epsilon square minus 1 plus epsilon cosine theta. Now you can easily understand, when I say epsilon less than 1, I am writing 1 minus epsilon square, so it makes sense. And when it is epsilon greater than 1, I am writing a epsilon square minus 1. Good. So these are trivial things, not very difficult things. You can verify by yourself by looking at your old knowledge from the books. These are the book keeping knowledge. What we need it for our case, we will use these facts. These are the couple of things we will remember, and we are going to prove something extra out of this thing. I think what is, somebody remind me, or even if you don't remember, I can go back and look. I have come to the orbit equation at which place? Yes, this is R as a function of t I have written. This, oh no, this is particularly I think for some problem I have done. In general, where I have written R as a function of theta. Yes, this is the orbit equation. So we will start from here. This orbit equation, and we will see, particularly for the inverse square law, how it comes. So I will take this equation. Just remember the form of the equation the way I have written it, and just tell me. I'm going to write it down here. Yeah. Orbit equation. Yeah, Daniel, tell me, d2u by d theta square plus u is equal to, it will be big term. Tell me. Check the notes and tell me.
Minus mu by
Minus mu by
L square U square.
U square in the denominator, right?
Yes, sir. F of 1 by U.
F of 1 by U. So remember from here. Now, if for inverse square law, f of r is equal to what? Tell me. What is the force law? Tell me. Inverse square law. I am telling the name practically by words. What can I write? What is the inverse square law?
K over R squared.
Yes, I will put instead of k, I will put additional sign, capital, because it is attractive. I will put it like this. So I can write it 1 by u is equal to minus capital K u square. If I feed into this in the above one, so it will come like that. The next step will come like that, d2u by d theta square plus u. This minus and that minus will get cancelled. So mu by L square u square capital K u square, isn't it? So right hand side, this thing and this thing will cancel. So right hand side will be exactly equal to a constant. So I can write it as d2u d theta 2 plus u is equal to mu capital K by L square. This equation looks like what? Can anybody tell me, Poonam? This equation looks like which equation? The standard equation which you have done in your plus 2 level. This is which equation? X double dot plus x is equal to 0. This is which equation? Let me write it in another d2y by dx2 plus omega square x is equal to 0.
Can I say?
Let the other people say, Gautam. These things might be very trivial for you, but other people should come up to some level at least. Don't take it in a wrong way. Poonam or anybody else? Who else is there? Haritashri? This I have given two format of these equations. One double dot means I'm obviously talking about in terms of the time. This is y double prime. If you are happy, I can write it in this format so that you can remember. I'm trying to make you remember these things. Y double prime plus omega square x is equal to 0. This is which equation?
There should be omega square y, sir.
Sorry. Yeah, correct. If I moment write it, so it will be y. Very good. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Correct. So this will be which equation?
Such simple harmony.
Yeah, simple harmony. So now, if you see, I have almost something like this. If I don't have this term in the right hand side, you can say it in this format. So what you can do, I replace this thing u minus mu capital K by L square. Anyway, this right hand side, the gentleman is a constant only, nothing else. I say, I define this term, this is my definition. I'm taking this is as x. If I take this thing as x, then the above equation will boil down to this equation, d theta square. So now the moment it comes, then it will not be the problem for me. I can easily say this is nothing but your simple harmonic oscillation. Is it clear, Poonam? Am I audible, Poonam, to you, or you are not there in the class? Which one? I think Poonam, some problem is there. What about the others? Everybody are getting this thing that this is a part of. I mean, this is a manifestation of
Yes, sir.
simple harmonic oscillation. Nothing else is there. Now, if this is the case, then I know the solution also, because the solution will be harmonic. Harmonic means sine and cosine. So here I can write, if I can write this thing in this particular fashion, then I can write the solution. What will be the solution for this? Let me write down the solution in a different color. X is equal to a cosine theta minus theta prime. Theta minus theta naught or theta prime or alpha, anything. Just this is a phase factor, nothing else is there. You can write it in this format. So in our case, this is nothing but this x is actually what? X is actually this x is actually what? X is actually u minus mu capital K by capital L square is equal to a cosine theta minus theta prime, isn't it? Am I correct? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, uh, who is writing the notes? I do not know. Poonam, are you there writing the notes or not? Poonam, I think is. What about Sneha? Are you in a good condition to take the notes? I think that is also not. Daniel, what about you?
I'm taking notes, sir.
Okay, good. So can I go to the next page?
1 minute, sir.
Now, simultaneously, those who are writing, go to when we call for the Hamilton Jacobi, and immediately we'll connect something from there while we are doing the solution.
Sir, I'm good, sir.
Yeah, good. So I'm changing the page. So if this is the case, 1 by u is nothing but 1 by u. So 1 by u minus, what is the constant term? Tell me in the previous page.
Minus mu K.
Mu
Mu capital K by L square. This is equal to a cosine theta minus theta prime. So this is 1 by r is equal to then mu capital K by L square plus a cosine theta minus theta prime. Now if I do all these things, if I multiply both sides by L square by mu K and do the algebra, then okay, let me do it. Multiply this thing by L square by mu K, both side. On the left hand side I have multiplied, right hand side if I multiply, the first term will be 1, the second term will be L square by mu capital K a cosine theta minus theta prime. So this L square by mu K, this thing I can easily tell by some another name. This I can call as, now can you guess it from the conic section, what should I call this term? What should I call this term?
Epsilon.
Say, huh?
L squared by mu K times A should be epsilon.
This L square by mu K, what should I call? Immediate, I have written a general form of the equation, R is equal to something. Remember?
Yes, then you should call it P, sir.
Yeah.
Small.
So if I write it 1 by r, then it will be 1 plus epsilon cosine theta by small p. So in that sense, small p by r should be equal to 1 plus epsilon cosine theta. So if I put this analogy, So this is nothing but my P by R is equal to 1 plus epsilon cosine theta minus theta prime. All these stuffs are there. So where P is equal to small p is equal to mu k square, and important aspect is what is epsilon. So epsilon is equal to what? Epsilon is equal to what?
Sir, isn't it L squared by mu k?
into A.
It will be mu k. Sorry. Yeah. Not k. Yeah. Epsilon is equal to what? L square A
L square A by mu k.
mu k. This part is completely there. So exactly, we can see this has come in the format of a conic section. So one thing you can understand, if it is under inverse square law, it follows the motion of a conic section. Now, one important aspect is there. Still, there is a way that I identify this conic section's eccentricity. This eccentricity I can identify with something else. Let me write it down. Let me pose the question. Can we identify epsilon with not can I identify, can I connect epsilon with total energy capital E? What is your point on this? Can
Yes, sir.
we do that? Can we do that? If you see, when we are doing the Hamilton-Jacobi, we have explicitly done the solution. At that time, I have told you, when we will do for the central force, we'll come again in the same thing. Of course, not from Hamilton-Jacobi, we are using the orbit equation, usual Lagrangian methods and Newton's law. Nothing else we are doing it. So now, can you tell me how I can connect this thing with the total energy, if possible to say? If you do not think, it will never come to you. It will be always that I will be telling it to you and you will be doing it. Where is that you can come and play with the total energy? Where you can have this thing? Total energy comes into play. Total energy comes into play where? I have given a listed of formula in the previous class. Have a look at it and come up with something. Where the total energy can come? The simple thing is, always try to go back to the definition. The easiest thing you remember, you go to there. So total energy is nothing but your kinetic energy and potential energy. In the case of a central force, when we are talking about a two-body problem, we have reduced into a one-body problem. We have introduced mu. So you can think of as a motion in one dimension. Of course, that coordinate is the radial coordinate r, and there you can easily say something. What is
Sir,
that? Yeah, tell me.
sir, we can take the central force and take the time derivative to get to energy.
No,
We can
it's
take
the same.
we can take the energy and take the time derivative to get to central force.
Energy is constant. If you take the time derivative, it will be zero. It will not helpful. Tell some another way.
No, sir,
Where?
but if you write E as m mu r dot squared by 2 plus v effective,
Hmm.
and then we take the time derivative, then you'll
Yeah,
land.
almost in the correct direction. So the energy is coming actually from here. If you remember, this is nothing but half mu r dot square plus what? See, it is given now in the formula.
L squared by 2 nu r squared
L square by
plus
2 mu r square
plus
plus
v.
v. Now in this case, what is v?
Uh,
I have
df.
given your f of r is equal to minus k by r square. So this is nothing but your minus dv by dr is equal to minus k by r square. Now tell me what is your v?
Minus k by r.
So minus k by r. So this is a case. Particularly now we are using this formula where I know the profile of the potential. This potential is not. What is the profile of the potential?
It's 1 over r.
It 1 over r. So the nature is 1 over r. So that means 1 over r, and also the minus sign, it is directed towards the center. All these stuffs is there. So if I use this thing, I can come up with the idea that where the E will come. Now in between this r dot, you exactly know what is u. R is nothing but 1 by u, or u is nothing but 1 by r. That is the way we have discussed it. So once we have discussed it in this way, what do you see by dr by d theta? Already dr by d theta also we have computed, isn't it? Dr by d theta, you see the notes where we have calculated dr by d theta, root under all this stuff. Let me do it then. If you are thinking this is not difficult, already you know. So v is nothing but minus capital K u. Agreed, everybody, or not? Particularly now we are,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So already we know this thing. And what is your formula? 1 by r. 1 by r, just now you have seen. What is your 1 by r formula? You have written it here. Just in the previous case we have written it. This is 1 by r, we have written it. Mu k,
by L square
then
plus A cos theta plus theta dot prime.
this thing is, we are not taking it out. So this a is a constant, this theta naught or theta prime, whatever we are saying, that will be a initial phase. You can take it as theta prime is equal to 0. If we choose the axis in such a way, this theta prime is coming from the geometry. So if I can choose in particularly in this direction theta naught, so I can take theta naught equal to 0. So I can write it 1 by r is equal to this part plus a. Just one question. When I was writing about this part, uh, have I correctly written about this thing? Uh, this integral, when I was writing in the previous page, just one moment to cross check here. This is capital K u square, that is okay. This formula, that is also okay. Can you quickly, any one of you, check this is matching with 1 by length? What is the dimension of the right hand side object? Can anybody quickly check it? Gautam, can you quickly check it? What is the dimension of this object? Right hand side, what is the dimension is coming? Can you check?
I think it works out, sir.
Why you think? You do it na? This has a dimension of m, this whatever the dimension m.
Yes, sir.
Correct, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Both are.
Fine. I just in between that I thought it might not be correct. Okay. So 1 by R is equal to coming from capital mu K, capital mu, small mu capital K by L square plus A cosine theta minus theta prime. A theta minus theta prime it has come. Now from here already I see this is my total energy as usual. Now the total energy, now what I am going to do is you can check that and write it down in the format of U is equal to 1 by R. So this is nothing but my U. This is nothing but my U. Correct? Now if this is my U, what is my R dot? What is my R dot? Quickly compute in the other side. R dot is nothing but dr by dt. So I can write it in this format, dr by d theta by dt. In this format I can write it also. Correct? All these things we have done earlier. So remember, the moment I put it theta, it is easier for me to change these things. You using the constancy of the angular momentum and all these things, and I can write exactly r dot in terms of u. And if I write it in terms of u, it must be much easier for me because I am getting u as a function of this. I can easily do derivative of u with respect to theta, isn't it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
How this equation will come now? Now this equation will come as a first order differential equation rather than the second order differential equation. Are you getting the point where I am going? If you write down this part only, it will come as a first order differential equation with respect to u and theta, where the variable will be u and that you will be taking the derivative with respect to theta. How these things will come? Can you write it down? This equation, focus on to this equation. E is equal to half mu r dot square plus L square by mu r square. It will be coming minus, let me take it in this format, minus k by r. This thing is given. Suppose this thing is given. Even if you don't want, you can put it in the form of v. Let it put it in the form of v so that you can have a general idea. Then you can change it. So half mu r dot square is nothing but E minus V. Take it, E is constant, V is, you will give you the profile. Another thing will come L square by mu r square.
So
Now
2
left
mu r
hand side,
square.
yeah, what happened?
L square by 2 mu r square.
L square by, yes. Yeah, L square by 2 mu r, correct. So now dr by dt, in terms of dr by dt, what I can write? Tell me. Half mu is a constant. I'm keeping E minus V. Then after E minus V, that will be what?
So r square it will be.
Yeah. So now mu r square theta dot is equal to, so theta dot is equal to L by mu r square. I can keep it, I can put it here as usual. dr by d theta is nothing but d by d theta of 1 by u. So I can write it as d by du of 1 by u, du by d theta, which will give you minus 1 by u square du by d theta. And the moment I take it a square, this will come as half mu as it is, dr by d theta square, it will be 1 by u to the power 4 du by d theta whole square. Theta dot square will be coming as L square by mu square r to the power 4. So r to the power 4 will come as u to the power 4, and the right hand side it will be coming E minus V minus L square by 2 mu. Now it will be coming as u square. Am I correct? Can anybody cross check and see this? Okay. Can anybody quickly cross check this thing and tell me that okay, this is going on correctly? Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir. It's okay.
So if I reduce all these things, can you reduce these things and tell me? So let me take a different color, and what are the things cancelling immediately? Numerator u to the power 4, denominator u to the power 4. This one mu will be cancelling with this thing. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Then what else? So this will be, the left thing will be L square by 2 mu will be there. So u prime square, so let me write it in this way, u prime square L square by 2 mu, L square by 2 mu will be equal to, let's see here, minus L square by 2 mu is there, u square is there, plus E minus V. Am I correct, Daniel? Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir. It's correct.
So I can multiply both sides by 2 mu by L square, and this term will become 1. And if I take the minus u square on this side, so it will be plus u square, and it will be multiplied by 2 mu by L square. So just remember this. I'm going to the next page and tell me that equation. So du by d theta square, du by d theta square plus u square is equal to what? Tell me. E minus V was there as usual. And that much I remember. Then what is the thing I told you to multiply with?
2 mu by L square.
2
Mu by L square.
2 mu by L square. Let us, okay, I have not written it here. Let me write it down. I hope, yeah, 2 mu by L square, correct. Now this is the form which we are looking, but we have not initially came this as an orbit equation. But this will help us while we are posing the question whether there we can connect the eccentricity epsilon with the total energy E. This total energy E is sitting over here. Now using this fact and the fact that you have written U in this format, using the equation above and the fact, what is the fact we wanted to use? We wanted to use the fact U is equal to what? Can anybody tell me what is 1 by R? That in that form 1 by R is equal to what? For this particular inverse square law, what we got?
Mu k by L square plus A cos.
Yeah, slow down. Mu k by L square plus
L square plus A cos theta minus theta dash.
theta minus theta dash. Theta dash is a constant. Now use this equation. So now make a derivative, make a double derivative, and all these things will come. And what is epsilon? What is epsilon? Tell me.
L square by mu k, L square A by mu k.
L square A by mu k. Now, once you use all this fact, you can write epsilon as a function of the total energy. Do it as a homework. Use the fact. Show epsilon is equal to epsilon as a function, some function of total energy. Yeah, epsilon as a function of total energy. So this is the homework. Simple thing, nothing
Sir?
extra. Yeah, tell me.
I think I got it, sir.
Yeah, if you have got it, please keep it, because just now I have said it and other people. So where is it coming? What is the law, nature of the law? It is square root, right?
Yes, sir. It's a square root.
It's a square root. Then it will be like that. So let the other people do, and as usual, we will sit and see next. And as I have mentioned in the beginning of this class, by this weekend, probably Friday, we will take the test. That will be for the equivalent to the second assignment. So there are two digital assignment, one quiz. So the in between cat, I mean not in between, at the time of cat 2 was quite early, we cannot take it. So that second assignment in the form of quiz we will take by this week, by this Friday, and the topic will be entirely central force, and the nature of the questions will be MCQ, and exam will be on LMS. Okay, Amit, tell me the students who are not present.
Yes.
Any doubt or any question from today's class, you can ask. So I think we have 15 students. So 4 must be not there. So who are these 4?
Yes, sir. Adiyashi, Adi Lakshmi, then
Wait. Aryashri, Adi Lakshmi,
Bharat,
Bharat,
and one more is there.
Santosh Kumar.
Santosh.
Yeah. Thanks. Then we will meet in the next class tomorrow. Okay?
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, why didn't we